I hope you are having a fantastic day, because I am having a fantastic day. So yesterday I made this video talking about diversity, and basically the TLDR for that video was, unless you're going to do it to depict experiences you haven't had or cultures you're not from properly, please don't do it, because the only other reason to do it is for you to use it as a marketing gimmick, which itself is shady as F. Yesterday, when I posted that video, I went to sleep and I woke up to I woke up to a lot of comments. Okay, I woke up to a lot of comments, and so today, you can see 7 hours, 10 hours, and so on and so forth. So basically, I will be reading your comments and I'll be responding to your comments. And there were so many new amazing comments that made me really think about the topic in a different way. So that is what we will be responding to today. Okay, Uncle Meg says cultural assassination is a perfect analogy for using half-assed diversity for sales. Also, you're not generalizing when you say a lot of American media / artists use diversity for its aesthetics and gimmicks. It's just another symptom of white supremacy that's been embedded into our culture since the beginning, that hopefully will die eventually. This is something I found to be very interesting, and I wanted to really talk about this. And this comment with white supremacy, I didn't necessarily view it this way, because the way I looked at it was someone who is either one of two things, which is disrespectful of another culture, or someone who does not care about art. They don't care about storytelling. They don't really have any interest to put, they are bothered by the idea of putting more effort into the art. They start coming up with excuses. Okay, they start making up excuses, or they rush the book, or they oh, don't worry about it, the editors are going to handle this, I don't have to really put an effort into this, and so on and so forth, right? Which is really not the way someone should be thinking about the art, right? So I didn't really think of it as a white supremacy thing until I really put more thought into it. And if someone is a white supremacist, absolutely, because they will look at other cultures, they will realize, oh, I can take the aesthetic of this culture, market the book as that culture or a depiction of that culture, and they won't have respect for that culture, so they're not going to do it. So they're basically a combination of the two things that I mentioned, which is being disrespectful as well as not caring about the art and just wanted to make profit, right? So I really love this comment. I really love it. There is another thing that really sparked, a memory in me. Okay, it is from Broken Entertainment. Side note, I really think you should subscribe to Broken Entertainment if you like comic book news. Sometimes he talks about books. A lot of the time he talks about comic books, news of comic books, and I really love his content. You should definitely subscribe to him. Staying spot on. Okay, he says here, this particular comment really sparked a lot of memory in me. He says, this stuff drives me crazy, and if you speak out against it, people find all kind of names to call you. And I remember a few years ago when Black Panther came out, I remember, sitting there watching some video that was recommended to me, and it was a review, okay? And this conservative reactionary was actually reviewing the movie, and he was really spinning a lot of narratives. You have to understand, I am very fascinated by narratives and stories to tell, to change people's view of the world. And he managed to convince a lot of people that Black Panther was, a threat to white people. And, basically, this book, look at this, you can't really make movies nowadays unless you have, black people or diversity and so on and so forth. And basically he managed to convince grown 40-year-old white people, white men specifically, that they were under threat. And the existence of Black Panther was a confirmation of that. And I found this to be very curious, because the narrative that the guy was spinning was that white people now are oppressed, right? You can't do this, you can't do that. You are disadvantaged, you are this and that. I found it very curious and very odd, because let's take just the MCU, okay? If you take just the MCU, there is the first Iron Man movie, okay? So what is Black Panther? In terms of race, it is mostly vastly black with one or two white characters. What is Iron Man, the first movie? It is vastly white with one or two black characters. The second Iron Man movie, it is vastly white with one or two, black characters. The first, Thor movie, okay? The first Avengers movie, the third Iron Man movie. Basically, what do you have in the MCU? Just in the MCU is some 20 movies that are vastly white with one or two characters that are black. And Black Panther is an exception to that. So this guy, this conservative reactionary, was able to convince 40-year-old white men that Black Panther was a threat to them. And the people who made Black Panther, he started calling them names. SJWs, libtards, radical leftists, and all of this stuff. I just wanted to share this with you because I think it's complete BS. The idea that a story, for every one Black Panther, for instance, I can find you a million stories that literally contrast it in terms of race, that are all vastly white with one or two, characters that are not white. Okay. And so I found that to be I found it to be like the definition of complete BS. And this one really triggered my memory of that. And so these people, these reactionaries, how does it relate to this particular comment? Of course, they find all sorts of names to call you. But another thing is the way it can relate to this topic is all of these people viewed the diversity that was in Black Panther as marketing. You can look at it that way, but it was actually properly done. They used it as marketing. Yes, you can always use diversity as marketing, but do it well. I haven't seen, and myself included, I have never really complained about the influences in Black Panther having been half-assed. They were properly put together. So I really love this comment. You should all subscribe to Broken Entertainment. There is another comment by Lebent, okay, which I really loved this comment a lot. And it says, if you use diversity in your book, which every book really should, if they're trying to add realism into it, then do it properly. Absolutely, man. This is the thing, okay? Another rant, okay? I don't really want to read your book if you're someone who half-asses it, okay? If you're someone who doesn't care about the art. At the end of the day, if you don't care about to express yourself artistically, to me, you're a dead corpse. Your book is a waste of money. I don't want to bother with that shit. Do you know why? Because I can buy the book of another artist, another author, who put sweat and tears into the art, into the book, and they have labored day and night. Why would I buy your book when I can buy an author like Brandon Sanderson, who actually puts extreme effort into his books? Why? And that is an important question. So do it properly or move off, get out of the way. Okay, and I really love this. Okay, I love the rest of the comment. Okay, especially because he goes on to details. For example, in Oathbringer, it is mentioned that a member of Bridge 4 is courting a man, himself being a man. He talks about a lot of other examples, and yeah, I really love this. There is another comment. Now I want to make an American who has very Soviet and communist ideals and lives in Texas. Absolutely. This is an African story because it has some voodoo shit. Oh yeah, I remember that. So I agree. So much fake diversity or fake cultures out there. Absolutely, it's not even fun to read because it's so shallow. They should always run it by a few natives to see if the character is even valid. There is Grimdark. Oh yeah, Mark Lawrence. Oh yeah, this is the comment I was looking for. Okay, this is the comment I was looking for. But before we reach that, let me read this. It's oval that diversity is used for marketing. I absolutely agree. Diversity as checklist is lazy writing, and it's most obvious when someone likes the culture they are writing about but fails to showcase it on all basic levels. But the real question is, why are they lazy? I think you're right. It's about money. They don't care about the craft. And that really pisses me off. That pisses me off. Why would you write a book if you don't care about the craft? At the end of the day, it baffles me. It really baffles me. But there is a really perfect comment by J House writes, again, you should really go and subscribe to her. She's amazing. I will leave links to both the Broken Entertainment as well as J House writes, and they're both super intelligent. I'm dumb most of the time. Okay, the comments always make me see stuff in a very new light, in a new perspective, which I think, every time I make the video, I'm like, oh, okay, I think I've done well this time. I've had like all the perspectives I wanted to discuss, out in the screen, and I'm happy with this video. Let's post it. Then, Uri comments, or J Hauser writes comments, or Broken Entertainment comments, and suddenly there's like a whole new perspective that I didn't think of. Anyway, I really love this comment, and I want to read it completely. And when we finish, it will be, basically that's it. Okay, the video will close, and I really want you to listen to this comment very carefully because it's very beautiful. Wait a second. Okay, all right. Okay, so let's get into it. I think this is why one of my works in progress is going so slow. I want to be authentic, and I bit off a lot. It's a sci-fi adventure on Earth where aliens are playing a game on a scavenger hunt. It takes them across the world, and I want each location they visit to feel authentic. I want someone who lives there to be able to say, I know exactly what she's talking about. I'm using my personal travel experience in New Zealand, where I can incorporate small details about the mix of Maori culture with the English side. I lived in Poland for a while, so I can incorporate the attitudes people have there about other cultures and the love of mushroom hunting. This sounds very interesting. But there is a lot of places I haven't been. So like you said, I have got to research. I needed a scene in Africa, and I've never been there. But my cousin lived in Angola for a couple years. Along with online research, I can incorporate more authenticity from talking with him. A reader who has never lived there may not know what color the cabs are, or which police to steer clear of based on the color of their uniform, or how the illegal vendors work, or those that sell products from the basket they balance on their head. But I would hope that someone living in the city I'm depicting would feel like it was a snapshot of a typical day for them. I think this video, mingled with some research I've done recently, reminds me that I might need to be even more detailed in my research. We ought to ask ourselves about things like, greetings. Does this culture kiss on the cheek when greeting? Oh yeah, you should. Arabs have some of the most unique, greetings ever. I really love them. Both cheeks, facial expressions for flirting can look completely different in different cultures. Anyway, I could go on forever, but I am both intimidated and excited to try and share a cultural adventure through the eyes of aliens who have never been here before, while adding in chaos and shenanigans. I love this last part, yes. So that's going to be it. All right, I have really enjoyed making this video. And first of all, I really want to thank, Helena, I want to thank Jihauza Rights, Broken Entertainment, Addison, Roran, yes, Lepent, Uri, Playing Serious. I never understood this properly. I knew there was an issue but couldn't pinpoint it. First time I'm really getting it. Thanks. Consider making a topic about manga success. Perhaps the versus American. I noted this down. Yeah, I noted it down yesterday. I want to thank all of you. Lepent, you all amazing. You know, you all mean a lot to me. Basically, is what I'm trying to say, because um, you know, thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you, and I hope that you enjoyed this discussion. All right, have a nice day. Bye.